This video is based on the technical analysis of US30, which is also known as the Dow Jones Index, and we're on the daily chart at this point. And in regards to US30, we can see that the market is very much mixed. Why do I say so? Number one, we have the market on the daily chart being in a downward trajectory or a downward trending market. To add to this, we also have what seems to be an inverted head and shoulders pattern, with this side being the left shoulder, this being the head, and this side being the right hand shoulder. And this particular pattern has a neckline more or less at that point. And what this tells us is that we may potentially see the market actually move further up, right, or even further down, due to the fact that we have the market in a downtrend, right? To add to this, we can also see that in regards to this trend line over here, we had actually had a rejection at that point, a second rejection at this point, and a third rejection again on this point. And this tells us that we may potentially see the market actually move further down to at least this level over here. Why do I say that level? That is because we have a W structure over here, and you guys know that whenever we have these W structures, we want to see the market break to the upside of that neckline and then come back to the neckline to give it a test. And where we have that neckline is generally where we look for those potential buying opportunities, right? So we might see price from where it is actually move further down to around this level, and at that level we may potentially see the market move further up. Having said that, let me just zoom in. Remember also that when it comes to these W structures such as we have at this point, what normally happens is a lot of traders and investors buy on that second leg of that W structure and they place their stop losses just below. So as much as I'm saying that at this point we may see a situation where the market actually moves further down to around this level, what may potentially also happen is that the market may actually disregard this level and move all the way down to grab all of the stop losses that are located in and around this region. Can you guys see that? Another thing that supports this movement where we may see price actually move further down to around this level is, as I said earlier, we are in a downward trending market after all, right? So just keep that in the back of your mind, right? Anyway, let's zoom in and see what else is happening in regards to the daily chart of US30. Another thing that I also wanted to remind you guys is that we have CPI coming up in the next couple of hours, which is also known as the core inflation rate or the consumer price index. And I believe that we are going to see some crazy movements. Nonetheless, we just need to make sure that we practice good money management and make sure that we're ready for that particular news event. Anyway, what else do we see on the daily chart of US30? At this point, I really don't see much. So what I will do is head down to the H4 chart. And here we are on the H4 chart. Let me just zoom out a bit. And just to recap, remember, on the daily chart, we spoke about how we have that huge inverted head and shoulders pattern. And we can see that at this point in time, the market is also having a third touch or a third rejection on this trend line over here. And I said to you guys that we may potentially see the market actually move further down to around this level, which is where we have the neckline of this W structure. Remember also that this neckline is also a level of support, and at this point we may potentially look for those potential buying opportunities. To add to this, I spoke about how a lot of traders and investors actually bought at this point and placed their stop losses just below, and that we may potentially actually see the market move further down to around that level to grab all of those stop losses. Having said this, guys, remember, due to the fact that we have that huge inverted head and shoulders pattern, we may possibly see the market actually retrace a bit and potentially to this level, because it's also now a very strong level of support. And at this level, we may also see the market move further up, right? As I said, guys, the market is very, very mixed. And at this point in time, as I said, the market could go in either direction, right? And as I said, remember that we need to make sure that we're ready for the news that are upcoming in a couple of hours' time, and that we use good money management. But in as far as buying or selling opportunities go at this point, I don't see any, right? I don't see any. But myself personally, I would love to see the market move further down to around this level at the very least, and at this level I may potentially look for those buying opportunities. If the market moves further down to around this level, at this level again I will look for further potential buying opportunities. And then again, as I said, guys, we may actually see the market over the next couple of days move all the way down to around this level to trigger all of those stop losses. And at this level, we may then see the market actually start to move further up, right? Having said all this, remember guys, we are still in a downward trending market, and we may actually see the market from where it is move all the way down to the lows.